ladies and ooh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 417 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast, coming to you live on 97.9 FM CHSR in beautiful Fredericton, New Brunswick, on the University of New Brunswick campus. Hello, all you students out there. I see you because you're killing my internet.
And taking your parking space.
And my parking spaces. Love you anyways, though. Love you anyways.
So we hope you're all listening to what we can only describe as the only radio show dedicated to the fine sport of paintball.
Spork.
I am, of course, your king of paintball, Thomas Burke. With me, the man, the myth, the legend, the beard, the beautiful one right over there. I keep looking in the wrong direction. I think that's Brad Odell over there, who's hawking Coca-Cola flavored Oreos and Oreo flavored Coca-Cola.
Hold on.
Chill.
Hold on.
Hold on what? How are you going to explain this? Hit me.
I originally saw these on, I forget where. There's a smudge on my sunglasses. I forget where I seen them originally, but it was like, I think it was like Life Hacker or like one of those like weird little websites that I get bored and I go to. And so I immediately was like, that's kind of cool. Oreo comes out with some cool flavors. I'm all about the weird Oreos, right? Like Oreo does these weird flavors, and I'm for them. I am absolutely all for them. My laptop just got kicked off the UMB's Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So I'm all for them. And then I see it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because it's like they're Coca-Cola flavored Oreos, and then Coca-Cola made an Oreo flavored Coke, and I was like, that is cool. I dig that. Probably never going to see it because it's only going to come to the United States because it's probably got something in it that's not allowed in Canada because all the good stuff does. So what ends up happening is I then see them on Amazon, but it was going to cost like $12 after shipping to get a single pack of Oreos. I was like, they're cool. They're not that cool. Right. So then fast forward, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, give or take. I'm sent on a mission, a very last minute mission to pick up spinach of all things.
And you come back with Oreos.
And I came back with Oreos and Coke.
The best dad ever. Ever.
I walked into the Walmart.
I left for milk and cigarettes, and I came home with Coke and cookies.
Right. I walked into Walmart, and they had like a display that was half Coca-Cola and half Oreo.
Bastards.
And I looked, and I was like,
how dare they market to fat people?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, know your clientele. I get it, but
yes. So I grabbed them. So let's do a quick review on that. Obviously, I have no food or beverage in the studio as per the sign. Multiple signs that say don't bring food or drink into the studio.
So you can't show us like an actual demonstration of you choking
of me
down,
sensually eating an Oreo. You don't want to see that. Who knows? Maybe if I get enough messages, I'll do we'll do like a slow motion shirtless Oreo eating video. I'm sure somebody on the internet somewhere will pay me for that.
Possibly. I can only hope. Brittany.
So, of course, this is a paintball podcast and radio show. But
done by fat guys, so we're going to talk about food and
but
Oreos.
We're going to start with Oreos. We're going to start about Oreos. Also, for the record, is an Oreo not a sandwich?
I think an Oreo is an abomination, but that's a personal choice thing.
I know Oreos, man. I've
never liked Oreos.
Oreo. I will fight somebody for an Oreo.
Not me. I'll throw the damn thing at you to distract you, man.
So
the show might not be brought to you by Coca-Cola or by Oreos, but it is in part by Moncton Paintball. My home, my field, my loves. They are holding a night game tomorrow night, which I am dragging myself out because the prince will be going on a sojourn to his mother's for the weekend. So daddy's going to get him some paintball. Dug out my clear lens. He's not listening to our show because Too Tall's not that cool, but there's a box rotor that belongs to Too Tall. I haven't been paid fully for yet. So I'm hoping he's going to pay me, but I'm almost disappointed because I saw one of them in action and these things are cool as hell. Like, this thing is a neat piece of hardware, and it's not mine. I didn't even get to open it. The security at Pearson decided they wanted to look at it first.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I got my Nova back. I got the Ethas back. I got my Xfogs back, which I was really happy to get my Nova back, but I kind of wanted my Xfogs because I like being able to see. I've been spoiled by those guys now, and I don't want to give them up.
It's benefit. Yeah. Yeah. The Xbox stuff's good. It's good stuff. It's a weird Xbox, one of those weird niche things where it's like, when people see them, they're like, that's a great idea. And then they vanish into the abyss. And then they just sort of pop up. But you never see them actively promoted. It's more just like people like you popping up being like, I love Xbox stuff. And everyone's like, yeah, Xbox stuff's great. And then they vanish again.
Right. The most common thing I've heard, negative feedback I've heard about Xbox is that it's the buzzing.
It's a fan.
It's a fan. I get it. That's a reason. Listen, that's not an unreasonable thing to complain about. I'm as deaf as Beethoven, so I don't hear the buzzing. I can feel it a little bit, but again, I like things that vibrate against my skull.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever shoots your.
Cameron, I love you with all of my heart and soul, but if I put one ball of paint through that thing, Too Tall is going to come and ram it up my arse. So, and I don't mean anything other than that entire box rotor will be.
And I was going to say he'd probably do it sideways, but I think it's actually bigger straight.
Oh, so. I don't want to think either way of how that's going to fit, but I am not into it. I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's going to be violent and not something we want. Also,
speaking of things being shipped back and forth, and MagFed and all that stuff, because I was thinking about, we're talking about needing topics for our show, and sometimes we just kind of get bogged down with life, and the internet provided us a bunch of stuff, but we can talk about that we're going to go on about. But I was thinking, I'm like, what's that piece of kit that you bought that you never got to use?
You mean the Hellion? I didn't buy it.
No, you didn't buy that. I paid a lot of money for my FSC, and I've never used the goddamn thing.
Because we could never get it working.
I know, but the only way to fix that problem is to put it in a box, and I could send it to Chad Bob, but I've seen.
Could we just do a video call with Chad?
I could, but he's not very good at explaining stuff, and I don't know enough about the marker. If we were dismantling like a G23 or a machine, I would be glad to sit here and tell you how to strip that thing apart for every scrap of wire out of the bloody thing. But ask me how to put together like an FSC. I was just going to put it in a box and I was going to send it to Daddy Paul. But maybe what we'll do is you and I'll swap. I'll take the Hellion and you'll take the FSC, and you call Chad and I'll call TJ.
I love it. Let's do that.
I speak Southern, so it's...
And I speak engineer.
I know. We both speak, on top of me speaking French, I technically speak at least 2 or 3 useless languages.
Yeah, we discovered a new role for me in the marketing firm, is that I liaison between the web developer and the client, so that I could take the tech speak, dumb it down, give it to them, take their requests and up it into nerd speak, give it to the dev.
That sounds awful. That sounds like hell on earth.
It's actually, I enjoy it.
I know, it's because you're a masochist. Anywho, moving right along.
Yeah. The Oreos.
So I don't want to continue discussing this disgusting.
Look, just hear me out. The Oreos legitimately taste like flat Coke.
That is not a selling point. I don't give a shit who you are.
The pop, the cookie flavored pop tastes like
you dumped cookies in your pop.
No, it tastes like Diet Coke. There's no Oreo flavor to it whatsoever. It's kind of like a little bit of a vanilla, but it's like, honestly, the original Oreo.
Daddy Paul's here. My FSC's in the garage, or I'd already be like, Daddy,
like on air tech support.
Yeah, make go pew. And TS loved the Thompson. He thought that was just as cool as hell. Giggled his ass off. He goes, I don't suppose you're taking that out in public. I went, no, father, we are not taking the Thompson replica firearm out of the house in public. I know it would be fun to scare your neighbors that are probably old enough to remember when the Thompsons were brand new in real life. But no, we're not doing that. Come on, Thomas. It'll only take a second. You know, those little bastards keep breaking into my garage. I'm like, yes, Dad.
Yeah.
I've already had this conversation. We're not allowed to do that.
Right. Yeah. I've already sought legal aid. They discourage this activity. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So the Oreos, I mean, whatever. If you find them, you try them, great. But this is not something that I would like go on the hunt for.
I would hope not.
Again. And even then, I only bought them on an impulse buy because they were there.
That's the only way anybody's going to buy the damn things.
Yeah. Yeah.
As an impulse buy.
The ones that were really fun, because again, I'm a huge Oreo fan, was the light side, dark side ones, where you pick up a pack and you didn't know if it was red or blue inside. So you open it up, you don't know if you're light side, you're on the of the Force. So that was fun.
Speaking of like stupid impulse buys, Valken's finally releasing a continuously fed magazine.
Yes.
And I say that as an impulse buy because that's what MagFed players do. They buy things on impulse and spend a shitload of money, but have so much fun doing that I can't throw too much shade.
No, you know what? As long as they're having fun, that's all that matters. But yes, Valken is working on a 23 round continuous feed mag it's for the Ripsaw, but it's the same magwell as a Dye, Dam, and the EMF 100. So realistically, it's for the EMF 100. It's not, you know what I mean? Everyone keeps talking about the Ripsaw, and they're super pumped for it. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be a great marker. But at the same time, and this is no shade on Valken, but I have never seen anybody run a Valken marker for an extended period of time. I don't think I've ever seen anyone run a Valken marker in person.
Sorry, I was just reading Tatz's idea of if you fire from a concealed position, it's totally okay and not at all ethically questionable. That is correct. That's why you fire like 4 or 5 steps back from the door or window or position at which you are firing from. Don't let them see it.
This is not legal advice, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, no. Like obviously, this is no. Good Lord. Don't listen to anything we suggest, people.
The new Valken mag immediately reminded me of when I saw it. As soon as I saw it, and I went, I've seen that mag before. The Fitty mag. If anyone remembers those.
No, I don't. I thought, does it have a winder? I thought that says, does it have a wiener, or will a ramrod be pushing it? I'm like, well,
we don't know yet. We don't know, because the only thing we've seen so far is the patent sketch. That's all we've seen. It looks, if there is a winder, it's on the back side of the drawing, and we can't see that side, or it's going to use a ramrod. So no idea.
I feel like anything that's using a ramrod in this day and age is going to be a little bit behind the times in the MagFed world. I speaking again as the schmuck who
there's an upside and a downside to it. So the winders tend to, in order to make a winder convenient to use, but not in the way, it's kind of got to be small. There's lots of little fiddly parts in that winder, right? And winders can break. The ramrod sucks because if you forget your ramrod, your mags are done. You can't use your mags.
Is that what those like
the white things that look like a particular type of bead? Yes.
That's what those are?
Yeah.
How do you ram anything with those? They seem very limp and very like not
you
also
feed them in.
You're gonna hear sounds of the ghetto here soon. That's an airplane, but I'm pretty sure there's a fire truck coming next too. So
nice. Good ambience sound. That's what that is. The way the ramrod worked is that you kind of just like use 2 hands and you just like slowly fed it in like one ball at a time, and then when it was all the way in, you could just boom hit it.
So it's exactly like that certain beaded device.
Yeah, exactly.
In theory as well as in practice.
Yes, except it's got like a 9-inch rod on the back of it too.
Nothing
so
short of upsetting to be having this conversation with you. You know,
I know, right? Yeah. If you're under the age of 18, stop listening.
If you're over the age of 18, what the hell are you listening to us for? We love you, but we question it here on 97.9 CHSR in beautiful Fredericton, even though I am in mildly attractive Moncton.
Mildly attractive Moncton. Alrighty then.
Better than Foot St. John. Just saying.
Yes, I'll give you that. So anyways, the mag, we don't know how it loads, but it looks an awful lot like the Fitty mag. It's got that little curve shape to it. It's not just straight up and down like the CF, what are the CF20s? Is that what that's what Planet Eclipses were called? And then or the traditional Dye mags. So it's got a little bit of a curve to it, very, very reminiscent of the Fitty mag.
Sorry, I just had a flash of the it bumped my gut mag.
It bumped. Oh my god! That
bumped my gut mag.
That thing had zero business being in paintball. Zero, none. It had no business.
30 round.
It's
continuous
so, like,
speed.
First strike, love you guys, but that was the dumbest thing. That had to have exclusively been something that law enforcement requested. Had to be. It's the only thing.
When you need to shoot the protester 30 times. With the first strike, this is the piece for you.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just kind of lippy tonight. It's been a long week for me and I'm feeling a little mouthy and I apologize.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Really.
That's fine. Let's get into let's talk about the Dye MXR, which we have not had our hands on yet. Hopefully we'll get our hands on one for testing purposes in the near future.
I looked at a picture and it looks like a DSR Plus. Am I wrong?
No, it's basically okay. So
it's fancy DSR Plus. I haven't been paying attention.
Yes, more or less. Yes.
Thank you.
So
tell me more.
Mostly toolless design. So you can pop the bolt and you can pop the grips off toolless, which is kind of cool. Runs on AA's, so it's a 3-volt system, which I appreciate. I find AA's are easier to get hold of than 9 volts.
I think I appreciate the AA's. Because again, if you have one of those beaded devices or one of those devices, then you can just switch from one to the other. But and like you said, 9 volts are pain. Shit, I gotta get 9 volt in the morning. Damn, right? I gotta change that. I just thought of that. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, the thing is, like, everybody's got 9 volts, or everybody's got AA's kicking around the house.
Probably stole them out of the remote for their Game Boy.
Exactly. But very few people have them. Like in the very few people have 9 volts. So so there's that. They runs on the AA's. Here's what comes with the kit is so of course you get the marker and the case, full O-ring set, all the tools you need, some lube, and the barrel inserts. So you get 3 barrel inserts with it, which is nice. So those are pretty cool. I dig that. Oh, and a second trigger.
That's kind of a nice addition,
right? It's so it's a different trigger because the trigger that comes on it is a. It's got like that it's got that sharp 2-finger look to it.
So it gives you the option for like, okay,
yeah, it's what you're comfortable with, right?
I was looking at replacing the trigger on my shocker.
So one of the upgrades that they did is the Explorer pointed it out. Excuse me. Is that the?
Did you have an Oreo flavored Coca-Cola before you came to the show?
No, I slammed a Red Bull. The eye pipe. So there's the piece that sits where the eyes would be looking in.
Mm-hmm.
And the ball that goes through is a detent. So it's like instead of the detent being like 2 little nubs on springs, which are usually what the detents are, or like 2 little like rubber gasket thingies, like what Tippmann does. This is the O-ring wrapped around a pipe, and the O-ring, the way it's wrapped around, makes almost like a triangle, and so the ball has to go through this triangle, so it kind of stabilizes the ball to center it just through geometry. And because it's an O-ring, it just kind of stretches and gets out of the way. So
does the mech frame come with it or sold separately? I would figure it's
sold separately. It is sold separately. They've announced that it's going to have a mech frame, but they haven't. The mech frame is not available yet. So there's the upgrade for that. They talked about they're using the joystick to get around the operating system on the marker, that kind of stuff. All in all, it looks like your stereotypical standard upgrade to a paintball marker. So while I'm not the kind of guy to go out, and clearly I'm not, I don't go out and buy the next thing that comes out. I know a lot of people are already jumping on it. But this is one of those things where it's like, if you've had a marker for 4 or 5 years and you want to upgrade, you know what I mean? Like, if you have last year's dye, you don't need this unless you really, really want it. You know, what I'm hearing is that DSR pluses are going to drop in price. I think you're going to see a lot of DSR pluses on the marketplace.
Damn. I'm not gonna lie, I did get to play with Kevin's at one point, and that thing is sweet.
No, they're nice markers.
I know, but that means the M3 Plus is going to be even cheaper.
Maybe.
That could make me be sassy, because I remember Youngblood's M3 was absolutely smashing, and I regret not buying that thing when I had the shot, because that thing was wicked.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just your standard upgrade. They basically looked at what a lot of people wanted and like small tweaks. They kind of talked to the competitive market and was like, what small thing kind of annoys you that we can fix? And that's what they did. They fixed a lot of that little stuff. So, yeah, it looks good. I kind of laugh though when I'm watching like their little promo video and they spend as much time on the little promo video. And I mean, as much time as a couple of seconds. On they're like the full bolt, and they take the bolt apart, like the explosion view, you know what I mean? It's like, and the bolt comes apart and then it goes all the way back in. That's a cool little shot, you know, it's a great little CG shot. And then as much time as they did on that, they're like the lockdown to clamping feed neck. It's like, oh good, the feed neck clamps. It's like, hasn't that been standard since like 98?
I mean, they still advertise the cars have air conditioning in them too.
That is a good point. That's what you pay me for. Power doors. That's the one. Power locks. They still advertise this has power locks. Great.
I mean, listen, I could do without and just be happy to have a standard thunk lock, but I'm also cheap.
But yeah.
I am not who these people are marketing to.
No, not at all. Things like dual density micro textured grips.
Why did we have this conversation? Because now I'm just starting to think M3, and I'm like, I don't need it. I have a shocker. I don't need it, but damn, they're so pretty.
Like all in all, they're just talking about like, you know, high efficiency is one of the new Arc X bolt design. High efficiency. Okay, what are the numbers? What is the high efficiency? Tell me. So stuff. It's just a standard upgrade. There's nothing really like crazy about it. But if you're getting one, great. You do you. I'm sure you're.
I'd love to see one in action. I'd love to see one in action.
Absolutely. So would I. If you do plan on getting one, or if you have an opinion on the Dye MXR or on Oreos, feel free to give us a call. So we do have the phone line 506-453-4979. You can call in and let us know what you think. If you're getting one of them, why are you getting it? Love to know. Love to find out.
Are you getting some Oreo flavored Coca-Cola tonight?
Are you getting Oreo flavored Coca-Cola? Are you getting Coca-Cola flavored Oreos? Oh.
Are you going to watch a local baseball game in the town of Fredericton? There's some good local softball teams.
It's kind of raining tonight, so there won't be any games.
Anus Gear will have an efficiency test in a few days.
Joke's on you. They already have one. It's on their website.
Joke's on you. It's on the Anus Gear website.
The downside though is that the Wi-Fi here won't let me watch the video, so I have no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
The marker seems like it's a really cool great little upgrade to the next generation, but I think paintball markers are now at that point for me, anyways, that like iPhones. Like I am not upgrading to next year's model because next year's model is not that big of an upgrade. You know, like
yeah,
give it 4 or 5 generations, and then it's like, oh, okay, now there's a big jump. You know, so that's my 2 cents. What?
Dye made a 1080R.
So basically, so Dye made a 180R. Yes, basically they made a 180R.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Essentially,
my man.
Look, that just so everybody's clear, that when Planet Eclipse comes out with their next little thing, I'm gonna talk about it the same way. I'm gonna shit on that too.
I'll go watch this video, and I will probably say that is a very, very pretty marker, and I would very, very much like to shoot one.
Yeah. I mean, where can they go with the innovations though? Like I know I'm kind of giving them a hard time, but like realistically, sorry, Mike, this chair is killing my back. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, I gotta get my ice pack for mine.
This chair kind of leans, so I'm constantly having to adjust. What could they possibly do to a speedball marker now? You know what I mean? Like where are we at? What are we gonna do? What more can we get? You know what I mean? Like we're kind of at that point where it's like, well, shit, you can't do anything else with them.
Well, there's going to have to be a massive innovation in either, and I'm going to use the word, it's going to have to be in efficiency. You're going to have to see a high rate of fire with a consistently low air consumption.
Yes, but I feel like
shave off another microgram or 3.
Yeah, right. Like that's
unless they completely revolutionize or somebody changes a bolt system or a firing system, I can't figure what it would be either.
I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see any massive changes anytime soon. Thomas Burke says, "Make cheaper market stuff, increase the player base." I think that is a valiant thing. However, cheaper gear requires people wanting to buy it. If people aren't buying gear, there's no incentive to make cheaper gear. Does that make sense?
Listen, I'm not in any position to discuss cheaper gear or needing more gear or less gear.
What I mean is, like, if we made cheaper paintball markers, which they do exist, there are cheaper paintball markers.
Get yourself a brass needle, boy.
No, but like even Dye has cheaper markers. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if here, let's go.
I just realized too, I'm gonna have to start like streaming whatever it is I'm playing during the show on our Discord. I'm gonna start doing that, I think, next week. Just for shits and giggles. Well, I was playing golf and it was terrible, so now it's just like, all right, we're going off to Death Road to Canada. I was enjoying our conversation so much this week that I played a shit game of golf, but
cool. Well, A&S's website is on crack because I just told it, I was like, I want you to sort this stuff by lowest price to highest. And it's like, cool, here's the highest price marker. I'm like, that is not what I asked for.
Yes, but you're also using toster Wi-Fi right now.
That is true. So. That is true. Realistic Dye Rise.
Anybody who is listening for hanging around the campus at UNB in Fredericton, go ahead, give us a phone call at 506-453-4979. Tell us how terrible we are. Tell us how much you want to come and join you. Go visit Brad in the studio. I know he would love to
flip me off through the glass. But
I would flip you off through the glass.
Of cheaper gear.
I'll flip you off right here.
The Dye Rise CZR paintball marker is $299.95. So there's a $300 speedball marker on the market.
That from the marker the marker that we just reviewed is a $300 marker.
What? No, that marker is $2,200 Canadian.
I'm gonna say, which one's that? No.
This one is the Dye Rise CZR. It's basically the proto line.
Somebody mentioned the proto line in the
comments.
Yes.
So that's where it's like we need cheaper markers. It's like they do exist. It's just people just aren't buying them. They're not interested in them. I don't think cheaper gear is the answer. I think the market is fine where it's at. I think paintball itself is just going through. Okay, not to go completely off topic, but I spoke with. The problem is I can't say who I spoke with to get this information. I don't know how true it is, so take it with a grain of salt. I spoke with somebody.
Rumor and innuendo.
Yes, basically rumor and innuendo. I spoke with an individual who was on a first name weekly conversation with a very, very high up.
Let's talk more info.
Individual with in the paintball industry. Somebody who has serious sway.
Okay.
The companies are panicking. Paintball's on its deathbed. That's why ESPN deal was signed. It's a Hail Mary play. Not enough people coming in. The companies are hurting. That's why they signed on the ESPN deal, and they're fighting tooth and nail. That's why there's a sudden boom in marketing and advertising.
Oh, that's cool.
They're basically going, holy hell, things are going bad. We need to do something now.
Yes.
So,
this could be good.
It could be. It could turn out fine. I think we're at a problem right now. I think the main issue is that when people get their paycheck, their first thought is, for the majority of people, I think their first thought is this enough money to pay for gas and groceries? That's
quite frankly, I just had that conversation with myself this morning. So
again, he says cheaper gear is needed, not the number one, but I think can help hook noobs better. The cheap gear is there. $2.99 brand new Dye paintball marker, speedball marker. You can go get a Steely for what? $80. You can go get a shitty mask for $80, $100. Like, you can get into the sport for less than $600. Everything. You're good to go. Hit the field. And that's buying new. You could buy used and go even cheaper. I don't think that's the issue. And again, this is a whole other episode. Or maybe it's not. Maybe we get into it now. We've only got about half an hour, though. We still have a little bit more to talk about. But I think it's a more nuanced thing than that. I don't think the players have any control over it. I don't know if players are the solution. I don't know if fields have the solution. I don't think anybody has the solution. I think it's a multiple of things, but like mainly paintball has gotten with the times has gotten more expensive.
Dude, everything's more expensive. And paintball is, as we've said before, paintball is a luxury sport. And what is the first thing that goes? It's the luxuries.
Absolutely. And
nobody's going to the peelers. Nobody's going to the club. If they are, they've got the flow to do it, and that's great. Good on them. But yeah, a lot of people, that's just kind of what it is right now. Please.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments here. Thomas Bork, paintball competes with airsoft and Nerf. The player base is divided quite a bit. If they're playing airsoft and they're playing Nerf, then they're not paintball players. If they wanted to play paintball, they would play paintball. Nerf is its own entirely different thing. That's like saying people aren't playing baseball because they're playing soccer.
I like the analogy.
Sure.
I'm not going to disagree with it.
And then he explores saying, why not advertise cheaper gear? Probably because they don't make nearly as much cheaper gear as they would the high-end stuff. That's exactly it. The manufacturers make way more money on the higher-end gear. There's more profit on top of that than the cheaper stuff. It's a volume play, too. They'd only have to sell one or two of the higher-end ones to make the kind of money that they'd have to sell 4 or 5 of the cheaper ones. Right? So that's how you kind of want to play that. The rise of the rise of online shopping and the death of retail stores also makes it a lot harder for a sport like paintball, where you're going to buy a mask online without trying it on.
Oh man, God, do I? It is shooty ball. It's all shooty ball, but
it's not though.
I know what he's saying.
I know, yeah,
I know
it's a
exactly
thing
what
that you
he's
put in
saying.
your hand and pull a trigger, and something comes out the end of a barrel.
But Nerf leads to airsoft, leads to paintball. It can all lead to paintball. Just some people do and some people don't. Not enough people are going into paintball because they just don't have the money for it.
They don't have the money and
Access to facilities.
access to facilities, but also airsoft is more accessible. Anybody can walk off the street, go to a Canadian Tire, buy an airsoft thing that runs on batteries, load some BBs in it, and go shoot cans or each other. Whereas with paintball, you buy a paintball marker, you got to go find a place to fill that air tank. The facilities needed to run an airsoft field are nothing compared to what you need to run a paintball field.
That's it. That's when you start getting into the outlaw fields and stuff. Andrew just made a really good point. Clubs, reel in people.
Yes, yes. Okay.
I'm gonna point to our friends. You know who I'm
Enemy.
gonna talk about because they've nailed it. They have
Yep.
figured it out and
Yep.
how to save paintball and to do what we need to do to make paintball viable again. Andrew just nailed it. You have to have groups of people who are willing to put their love and their energy into something like Enemy, like the Commando Crew, like those guys that all and the Mirabel Army and those guys that are putting in the effort to have a group, a gang, C1D. That's what you need. Those smaller groups to get together, and if they play outlaw fields or they book something, they all need this. You need to build that community. Otherwise, you're just not going. It's not going to survive.
Yeah.
It's a group. It's a group effort. It's a group sport. When you're one dude trying to get out to find a gang to go play paintball with, it's a pain in the dick. I'm suffering this every weekend. I want to go play ball, but the only people I've really got to play with are the few regulars who are all great folks, but you play against them every week, or renters. And you don't have that gang of people that you really want to play with. Like there's half a dozen people that I just want to do 3v3 in the airball field. We all get out there, we pay for our paint, we play, and we all, you bring a few people in, and that club, that feeling, that beer league, something like that is what is needed in order to make this gel. Or it's just going to be this, and we're just going to be stuck in this same goddamn loop of bitching that we do. Because the next comment, I haven't even looked at the comments yet, but I swear to God, if I hear somebody complain about the price of paint, we all know paint's expensive. It sucks. That's not the problem. You don't want to know why paint's expensive? I'll tell you why goddamn paint's expensive, because you don't have enough people going out to play. How do we do this? You have to, Andrew just said it, you have to form the clubs, you have to have the beer leagues, you have to have the over 35 guys who want to go play speedball but don't want to get their shit pushed in by 21-year-olds who've had themselves a party all night and they're just ready to whoop your ass. Yep. You want to go into the woods and have old school woods ball playing. You want to have a town. We have it, but the groups, that means you got to get your church groups. That means you got to get your Boy Scouts. That means you got to drag the airsoft out by their ankles to get them to play paintball. That means we have to go play airsoft. Sorry, it's tit for tat, guys. Got to do the same thing with the Nerfers.
Not only that, but there needs to be. I'm trying to think of the right words for it, because when we played at Enemy, they ran a tight ship, right? They told people, they were like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you can't do that. Yes, you can do that. That's what this is. This costs this much. This is how this works, right? They're like, we're going to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. That's how this is going to run. And people are like, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Let's do this. And it was just a fantastic day of ball. The money flows back into Enemy because they are not for profit. So it is a little different than when somebody's trying to run a business and make a livelihood off this.
Yes.
So there is a difference there, of course. I think paintball might be that weird sport. Holy crap! I just had an epiphany. Hold on, I'm trying to assemble a thought here. So you ever see Futurama? It's like a headache with pictures.
Yep. I know exactly what you're saying, so I'm listening.
Okay, paintball. Okay, we go to a place. We give somebody, business owner, money. In exchange of money, they give us access to a paintball field, hopefully refs, and paint. Cool? Awesome. Let's look at baseball. Okay, you want to be on a baseball team? Cool. You pay a monthly fee, right? Or even like in rugby, we paid an annual fee, and we just played at a field. You know what I mean? Like the field was maintained, but it was just we paid a fee and then we just played, but nobody was making money. So it was maybe the concept of paintball fields being places of business and basically being entertainment venues. Not that it's a bad thing, but is that maybe like the weird issue that nobody's ever really solved? Is that fields run on? If somebody can't make a living running the paintball field, not saying that happens here because we have other options, but like in Ontario, it's like we can't afford to keep running the field. We can't make enough money. We can't make a living, so we're shutting the field down. So do we need more people to take up the NME paintball club way of doing things and do not-for-profits? If you really want to if you're a paintballer and you really want to play on a regular basis, but you have a full-time job and maybe, yes, you have a full-time job and it's busy, but if everyone pools together and you get a good group of people, that's what they've got at NME. If you got 15, 20 people who every weekend, at least a third of those people can make it out to the field to help build and help maintain and do things, then these not-for-profit models work.
Correct.
So in the grand scheme of things, is that the solution? Big scale. I'm talking big. I'm talking like,
in my less than humble opinion, yes, I do. That's what I've felt since I've come back from NME, is that, and you and I had that discussion about, you know, that people you have to care about your field. It has to be a community thing. And I am almost sure that's what is needed in order for it to grow any more than what it has. And I mean, even more here on the East Coast, where we are just getting, like, you go to Ontario, it's a vibrant scene there
because they have the money.
They've got the people.
That's what I mean, I guess. Yeah, when I think like they've got, because Ottawa, Mirabel, you know,
Georgina,
what I mean? They've got
Wasaga, they're all within like an hour of each other. It's like driving from Moncton to Fredericton.
They've got the population to turn and churn birthday parties, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, corporate building events, yada, 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 boom, 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 get them in, get them out, make money off them. And then you've also got your regulars coming in, buying membership fees, buying paint, get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out. You can make money that way. But here we don't have that population to really do that. So I'm wondering if in the places that we're seeing fields going out of business really seems to be in the rural, out in the middle of nowhere kind of places. We need, like what Thomas says, like a co-op business, like the co-ops, right? When I used to shop at the co-op, I owned shares in the co-op. I was a part owner of the co-op because I paid a monthly fee, a monthly share, which meant that I had a voice. I could go to meetings. I never bothered because I don't give a shit, but I could go to meetings and be like, I'm going to voice my opinion and vote on how I want this business to operate.
Yeah.
You know, so is that maybe something I really think the NME model would do really well in the more rural areas and the places we're seeing fields struggle.
That's kind of where my thought is going with it, is that you give people an opportunity to build this community and build what they want. And I'm not saying take that away from any fields. I'm saying you can build it right within a field that's local to you. And that's what's needed. There's somebody needs to grab in each of these areas and do a C1D, do a GOM, do an NFT, do like those small, I just had their Paul Ruddick and their gang, the SAS. That's what's needed, I think. And I have no idea how to go about starting it. Hell, I was thinking like I wanted a beer league where we could get like 6 teams with 6 3-man teams or 6 4-man teams, and we just get together and we play. No prizes, no showing up and being an asshole.
Beer league. Yeah,
because like I will rip the jersey off your shirt and I will throw you to the goddamn curb if you're going to act like a dick. We don't want it. You want to play a league and you want to get sweaty, you can go play EPPL, you can go play OPL and be sweaty there. But when you come to our field, we're just here to chill, boys. We're gonna barbecue. We're gonna play.
It's modeled after a curling club. So when my brother was a curler, you paid a fee to use the curling rink, okay? Which is like paying the fee to use a paintball field.
Correct.
Right? Except consider that fee. You also have to consider buying paint. So yes, paintball is weird that you have a consumable. Moving forward, factor that into the money. But the way it worked was you had actual leagues, multiple leagues, right? So you had like league night, and you had different teams who would show up on league night. And league night was really just beer night. Is all it was. It was beer. It was a beer league, right? It was considered a social thing. And so people just kind of show up. They pay a monthly fee, which could be a membership fee to the field, right?
Yep.
That membership fee could translate into potentially cheaper paint, right? That membership fee can also translate into member-only special events, right? Or, stuff like that. So yes, I think the GOM model mixed with the NME model would work in a field that is already established, like Moncton or Cap City.
Yep.
Because I worry that what I'm also worried about, and I'm thinking about this in the back of my head, is like, if you and I decided one day to go totally rogue and just go, you know what, to hell with this, I'm going to make my own field with blackjack and hookers, right?
Okay.
And we go off and we do the NME thing. We get 20 people to come together and we build a field, and it's all not for profit. That is going to take money out of the fields that run for profit, because we can undercut them because we don't have to make profit.
No, but then that's also where NME goes places. They go on adventures. They go to different groups, and they all play at different fields too. So they're supporting everybody as well. They're not just taking it and putting it into their club, which is
I think they're also significantly, they're quite far away from other fields too. Like if we opened this in St. John, there's no field around St. John that I'm aware of. If there is, I'm impressed. You know what I mean? Or if we did this up in Kishpaquak near Miramichi.
Yeah, it would be very much like the Sons of Barnaby tried. But
yes,
they had the right idea.
They did. I think the Sons of Barnaby issue was
not enough. It's the issue that we're having right now. It's the conversation we're having.
Not that I felt it always felt a little like they were doing it on their own. It was always one or two of them working on the field. It was always the one guy out with the chainsaw cutting down trees and making stuff happen. Not getting 10 people out there to help you because they're members, they're co-owners of the field. So Matt John, so you want to invest your money into something and not make money. I already do that. I invest my money into playing paintball. That does not make me money. This podcast, negative money. It costs me money every month to run this podcast. I enjoy gaming. It makes me no money, but I still put money into it. So your argument of invest your money into something and not make money is mute.
I mean, you want to, if you're passionate about it and you really want to make it work and you get a whole gang of you and that's what you want to do.
If I can put money into something like the way NME runs theirs, they put the money into it and then everyone pays a monthly fee.
It's a lot of work. Fee. And we're not saying that ain't a lot of work. Like you go see what them webs do.
It's a ton of work.
Hey, Dory, there's no shade in that. No shame.
No, none.
At all.
None whatsoever.
It's not for everybody.
But some people they just enjoy building stuff to start with. And some people really, really enjoy being part of something greater than the sum of its parts. NME is bigger than just a group of people, right? It's a much bigger thing. So some people really enjoy that, and that's totally fine. If you don't want to, you just want to show up on Sunday, throw some cash at somebody, and play paintball. Do it, man. Do it. That's what I've been doing since 2007. You know, I'm just thinking like it'd be really great to have a field built by the players, but just NME's field is so hard to comprehend for some people because it's never
It's
even
just a field. It's nothing. And
that's
I'll
the
be
thing.
honest. It's a field. Like you play on it. It's legit. It's not the nicest turf in the world.
Yep.
It's not. I've played in nicer fields, but I'm telling you, it's not just the field. It's everything else.
Yes, it's the
It's
people. It's like what was
oh god again Dory. Not everybody. If some people can't. You can.
right.
You got 2 kids. It's definitely tough. It would be tough for me to commit to every Sunday for 6 months. I mean, I got a
Absolutely.
kid too, but if there's 10 of you or there's 12 and everybody, you rotate or you figure something out to get the job done, I think it could be done. But again, this is not like a pick up and go kind of thing, right? Like
No,
it's just
this would
something you've
require
really got to,
months of planning, of getting buy-in from people, and then ultimately there would
you
be
have to do it in the open like enemy. Everything has to be
yeah,
documented.
and
You have
it
to have
would
a treasurer.
also
You have to
be
do it that way.
it would be a grow, shrink, grow, shrink, grow, shrink, grow. So you would get 50 people being like, yeah, let's do it, and then as soon as you're like, hey man, time to go build, you're down to 20, right? And then you get some stuff happening, and then maybe you're up to 50 people again because they see stuff happening. You're like, yeah, and they're like, all right, let's go. It's the storm ripped the netting off, and we got a game tomorrow. I don't care, like if you can come, I need you here now. Oh, now you're down to 30 people. You know what I mean? So, and then maybe somebody doesn't like the way the voting is going, so they leave. But then you gain some people. So it's going to be a back and forth, It's growing pains. It's not always going to be easy. It's going to be ups and downs. That's something everyone would have to be prepared for. But it's obviously possible. And playing at NME, like you said, not the greatest turf. That's fine.
We went for a big event too. It was the people. It's that very friendly vibe that I like. And Moncton has it too. There are days you go out and the gang's there and it just all vibes perfectly. And it's always wonderful when it happens.
For me, I equate it to like growing up, like I had a really shitty job working in a kitchen on an army base. The work, physically, what I did sucked. But I had a ton of fun with the people I worked with. I was in the dish pit. Like all I did from morning to afternoon when I finally got off work, because I was at work for 6 a.m. and I was done at like 3 o'clock, was mop the floor and clean dirty dishes. But we were left to our own devices.
I've been a dish wench, dude. I get you.
Right. But I was we were left to our own devices, and we had our own music playing, and you know what I mean? Like we were joking. The guys around the table were shooting the shit. It was just a good time. Terrible job. It sucked. My back hurt all the time. I was covered in, I don't think it was really water anymore after that much stuff gets into it. Like basically garbage water.
Yeah.
And it sucked. But damn, I had fun. Right. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is like it would be that kind of situation where it's like you have the shittiest paintball field in the world, but if you got a ton of good players, you have a blast. So that's what I think would be awesome.
You know what really grinds my gears? There we go. Just get that off your chest, eh?
Yeah. Speaking of fields and very cool stuff happening, though, we've only got about 10 minutes. Not even. We got about 6 minutes left.
And now the news.
SNL.
The 15th. That's the anniversary game.
Yes, it is. It's the oh my god, I've forgotten the guy's name.
Vic.
No. Vic's the owner.
Oh,
the memorial game.
Frank? Is that his name?
I forget.
Goodness, I'm trying to remember his name.
Forgetting.
Frank Deshan. It's the SNL Memorial Game.
Yes.
Once again, always a good time. Vic's a hell of a good guy. Field's always fun to play on. You're going to sweat your ass off running up and down. That's what I thought. And you got to run up and down that hill. We all know it, but it's a lot of fun. You go there. It's one of those fields you go to have fun because, again, people are kick ass. Yes. It's a great good time. Moncton's got a night game this weekend. We got Cowboys and Banditos coming up soon. God, there's so much.
Hold
more.
on, Explore Paintball's got something that caught my attention. Did you all see the MLPB Armory thing with the NFTs? Is that still a thing? I'm looking it up right now.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Neither do I, but okay, here we go. Major League Paintball Armory. Join the Armory. Load your collection, buy a pack, buy and bid on NFTs. Can somebody tell Major League Paintball that last year already ended? What the? Also, I love that it's like clearly one guy's bought everything.
His NFTs will be worth so much.
He's buying them for $30 a pop. You could buy a layout for $10. You can buy a player pack for $30. Who the hell's buying paintball NFTs? Who the hell's buying NFTs? Didn't all the NFTs become absolutely worthless just like last year? Wasn't that like the big laughing stock of like a lot of the stars who spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on NFTs, and the NFTs are now worth like $4 or something.
I mean, who didn't see that one coming?
I mean, 3 cards, 3 digital cards. I would rather buy a pack of paintball cards for $30. But like, what the fuck?
He's so upset. He's insane.
I am so angry. I am so angry. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Dory's nailed it. Like, that is not how you're going to build paintball. And on that rage-inducing note, that's the end of our show.
We got about 2.5 minutes. But yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good God. Thank God, because I just can't. That's just like.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend another 2 hours.
Finished.
I'm going to spend 2 minutes and 18 seconds basically going, what the hell is this?
Why?
I am so angry. I am. Wolf's in the chat. People paying $60K for weird looking monkey pics. Yeah, which are now worthless because that Instagram account got hacked and all the monkey pics got swiped. Who is paying $30 for 3 player cards from the NXL? Come on, guys. Like, if MLPB needs to raise money, just say so.
just we
just
know.
Be like, bro, like, just
no shame in being poor, brother. We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there, bro. We have all had the bill collector call the phone. It's okay. They will go away. The money will come. Damn, yo, like, just
credit card debt.
Just do a back to
I cannot pay it back yet.
What, like Major League Paintball? They're like, what should we do? Should we do player cards or no? We're gonna do NFTs.
Wow,
I'm so
You're gonna go home and kick one of your children, aren't you?
No, she's already in bed and he's at his dad's. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That almost went sideways real quick.
I'm gonna drive her. I'm gonna go buy a pack of smokes and just like angrily smoke while staring at the river.
Don't do too long on the north side. Somebody will proposition you.
I live on the north side. Okay.
Not disproving my point.
Tomfoolery aside.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm
so angry, guys. You can tell if you're listening, like, he's stuttering. Like, this radio show has never really been like professional, but he's pissed, and I'm gonna have to hear about it after, and it's awesome. Like, that's the best thing you could have done for me tonight, guys.
That's it. I'm getting Tom Cole on the show, and the first thing I'm gonna be like, ladies and gentlemen, yada yada yada. Question for you, Tom Cole.
Why?
What the hell? Okay, that's it, folks. That's it. I'm done. I quit. I'm done.
Thank God.
that's it, folks. But thanks for hanging out with us and all that. Explore Paintball. I hate you for making my blood pressure rise this high. But you know what? Ultimately, it's been a blast. But until next week, cheers.